Fine. So this is one employee management tool, like all the timings of that particular employee and when it's a living, and if you want to apply for the leave, etc., that can be done through this particular application. Fine. And its username is admin. Okay. And password is also written over here. It's admin, but in a small. Fine. The login, you can see he is able to log in and he is able to see this particular dashboard. You can just go through it, like what all are the things present within this particular thing. Okay. The assign the leave list, time sheets, etc. So everything is present within this particular thing. The admin section is there, the PIM leave management, etc. is there, right? So in this particular application, all the things, what are the application page name? Like suppose if you are doing with the login page, okay, you just want to logged out from here. Okay, so I want to write the test case for this particular page. Fine. So how to write it? So how the business person, the BA will write their business requirement. Okay. So first of all, they will write some specifications, like they will do some analysis on that. Then front end BAs, there are a lot of BAs are there, like functional BAs, that front end BAs. Then uh, this is called technical lead will then do his work. Then the architect will do its work, and then application development team will do their work over here in this particular UI specification. There is a UI specification, there is associated rules with that particular UI. Okay, so what exactly the things present in this UI specification in the BRD document? Okay, you can see this is the application page name, which page he want to do. This is a login page. Okay, what I can write over here is the login page. We don't. Yes, I'm telling. Okay, just for now, just forget it. Okay, this is the login page. Fine. The application page name is login. Then unique functional ID. Okay, I want to get this particular input box. This is the input box, right? And this is a username, correct? So I can say unique ID need to be given particular elements. This is one element. This image is one element. This text is one element. This particular image is one particular uh, element, and this input box is one element. Okay, and this image is also one element. So all whatever you can see is a single, okay, elements. This button is also one element. Fine. So that means each element need to have some specific ID so that we can recognize. You can see here is one login and here is one login. So if I write the login only, so it would be ambiguous, right? It would be confusing, like which login button you are talking about, correct? So that's why we want to have a unique name for each elements. So BA person or front end BAs, what they do is they will specify a unique ID for each web element. Okay, suppose this is my username input box. So how they will write it? They will write one uh, unique ID for it. Anything they can use. They will say on HRM. So HRM, okay, hyphen, okay, they will write some in that thing, and this is UFID, something like this. Then again, is ID number is 001. Okay, anything they can write. So HRM is the project name. Okay, name of that application. What is the application name? The Orange HRM. Okay, so the shortcut I have written HRM. Then UFID means unique field identification number, right? Unique functional ID. This is my one web element input box, and this has some unique ID. Let it be HRM UFID 001. And who modified it? Anyone, if someone modified the requirement of this particular input box, how it will behave, how the color it should be, and all other things. Okay, that part will be taken care by a BS, not the QA. We don't have to do all the things. Okay, still let's start like how the BRD document they do write. Okay, modified by someone, maybe someone modified it. What is the date of modification? 4th 17th 2018. Okay, what is the modification reason why it is being modified? The requirement changes. Okay, in detail you can write over here if it is modified, otherwise you can left it as a blank. Okay, you can say input box size in pixel. Okay, increased. Okay, that's why it is being modified. Okay, expired, no. Is this particular field is expired, that means it's out of the scope? No. Okay, something like that you can. Which is the page section? It's a login module. It's a login page section. In the login page we have login panel. Okay, which section is this? You can see this is my title section, this is my login panel section, this is my bottom section. So the section you can write something like login panel. Fine. What is the field type? Okay, what is the field type? It's the input. So all the things need to be written. What is the uh, that thing? Use text, because sometime you might have heard about when there is a login button, there must be written some login, then here is a password, but in this case there is no login and password written inside of this. Okay, so you can say no login field label. This field label means what is the name written for this particular input box. We have not written anything, so let it be. Okay, and which sprint it is? 1.0. Okay, sprint 1. What is the business name? What is the business name they gonna write? The input username. Business name is username. Field description. User input box. Okay, and in input here also you can see input box. Field description, you can write a lot of things in here, like it it can uh, all special characters are not allowed, something like that. You need to write some logic like a star. Okay, star has a dollar percentile. So you can see this, you can write some rules for this particular field descriptions, like these all are the field, these all are the things that will not be supported in this input box. Okay, like you cannot enter a star, you cannot enter hash, you cannot enter dollar, you cannot enter these things. So you can write anything if you want according to the requirement of from the individual or the client. Fine. So SME review, who is reviewed these particular things? Some tech lead is reviewed by the tech lead. Then it's a hot field. Hot field means you might have heard about something called, if you select some particular thing, then one particular field will be displayed, right? In case of some, if you are filling a form, you might have heard, or if you might have come across in the situation, if you select any particular button, then only some field will be displayed, right? So that is called a hot field. It is not a hot field, so we can say no. Then what is the options or valid values? Like if it is drop down, okay, it has some options over here, like select alternative login, select username 2, username 3, something like that. So these things are called options, and whatever by default is selected, that is called default value. Okay, options is NA. You can say no, not available. Default value is also not available for input box for this one. Okay, and the field length of the screen, like 20 pix. Okay, something like that. Okay, this is front end BA. This requirement is written by front end BA. You can see over here. Okay, and then field level help, you can write any help over here. Field format mass. So a lot of things are present, like here coming to tech lead, who reviewed it? Tech lead, and he will give his one view ID for this particular review. Okay, reviewed, review complete. Fine. And then coming to the architect, the architect person, he will design the services for this particular thing. So he will also write some requirements for architect. Okay, this architect, the service name, what is the service name? Okay, like you can see login service. Okay, service trigger, when it will trigger, developer, who is gonna develop this particular thing, build status is complete or incomplete. Okay, and who is the, what is the unit test status, like unit test is completed or not completed. Fine. Then coming to completion date, when it's gonna complete, you will this application, because this development phase is now going on. Fine. In the development phase, it will, they'll see, they'll give some deadline when it can be finished, like today is 17th, so it will be finished by 30th. Okay, 30th 04 2018. So they will give some timeline. Okay, till this time it should be able to finish, or development in progress, you can say status not started, something like that. Okay, and comments, if there is any issues in this particular thing, they can write some comments on that, like this is due to the environment issue, or some issue is we are not able to do this particular thing. So who is a developer? Maybe Harinder. Okay, so the developer, he's gonna write the code for this particular input box. How he can code it? Because he has everything. He has the service detail from architecture, technical architect. He has the details of that UI from the front end BA, because BA has written like this, the business name should be username, it should contain this particular thing, it should not contain these particular things. All right. Mm-hmm. Yes. कंटेन मतलब नहीं नहीं, कंटेंट मीन्स होता है क्या, ये अलाउ करता है उसको, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, इट विल कंटेन्स। ओके, कंटेन्स का मतलब ये अलाउ करता है, ये मतलब इसमें अलाउ करेगा, ये स्टार भी इसमें अलाउ करना चाहिए कि नहीं करना चाहिए। ओके, दैट मीन्स it will allow the special character, or this exception is star, has, these are not allowed। तो ऐसा लिखा गया जाएगा, ठीक है, फाइन। So that means it can allow star, has, or dollar, something like that, or whatever they have written the rules for this particular thing. Okay, the same thing we can write it for other, the this one password as well, right? We have done for input box, then we can write for password, so the same thing, but the unique id would be different. Okay, the ba name and the completion date is also the same, or modified. We are not modified anything, so we are gonna leave it. Expired, no. Then it is in also in login panel, right? Because password is also within the login panel. Let me show you. This is a login panel, username is within this, and password is also within this, right? Password is also input box. Okay, and field level, you can say we are not able to find any name over here, so let it be blank. Then sprint is 1, and the business name is password, fine. This field name is password. Field description, it should be masked. Masked means whatever you enter, you cannot able to see that text, right? It is masked, but in username you can, whatever you enter, you can able to see. All right. Okay, so yeah, field description, it should be masked, and who sme who reviewed it, you can see tech lead. And it is hot field, no, it's not hot field. Okay, it's a required field, yes, required. And this is also required. Required means it's a mandatory field, means without entering this you cannot click on the login button, it will give you an error message, right? Same thing, we can write all the things. Okay, you can write for develop who is the technical architect, who is the development team, who is being assigned to it. I'll just copy paste everything because everything is same for password as well, right? And this is a login service which trigger this thing. A review is completed. Getting? Okay. The same thing we can write for login button. All right. Expired? No. Login panel. And this is a button. Fine. And the field label, you can see there is a field label, login. Okay, whatever Field level, you just need to write. It is a small letter, and then you can write small. Okay, login. Then sprint it be one, and this is the login button. Then you can write anything, any specification or anything. If you want to write any description about it, then you can write it, and remaining same will thing will be the same. Okay, whatever you want to write, you can write it according to this particular module. Fine. So this is how BRD UI specification work. UI means user interface. Whatever you can see in this. So that is called UI specification. And coming to associated rules. What are the associated rules? A rule means all the rules should be defined for this particular this thing or this thing or this thing. Okay. Like we should be able to enter any text over here. Okay. And we should not be able to enter this dollar or at the rate. Okay, so anything, and we are not allowed with star or something like that. So that comes under the rules, associated rules for this particular fields. Each field has one identifier, unique functional ID, and that thing we can write over here the rules for that particular thing. Okay, so what the thing we can write is AS, that means it's associated rule. Okay, associated rule, or before that we can write HR. Yes. Fine. So the BRD associated rule for each field also is being written like HRM. Okay, AS, that is for AIS for associated rule 001, and for which one you're gonna write the rule. Let it be this one, HRM UFID 001. Field level is username. Okay, page name is login. Modified by, modified date, expired, no, screen behavior. Which type of rule? It's a screen behavior. Okay, that is a functional. That means in the screen you can see it. Okay, if it is a service based, when you trigger, when you click on this login button, there is some server services is being called internally in a background, so we cannot see that. Okay, in that case we can write the services, but in this case we can able to see it. We can write the functional. Rule type is a functional. What's the rule? Rule is all. One second. Okay, you can see all that thing, special characters are not allowed. Okay, they have written all special characters are not allowed, and they have also given which all are not allowed. At the rate is not allowed, dollar is not allowed, star is not allowed. Okay, this one is not allowed, then this one is not allowed, and they will say this one is also not allowed. So these all are the things which are not allowed, and what are allowed? Allowed are, okay, they will say what all are the things allowed. 0 to 9 and A A to Z. Okay, A to Z, small a to small z also. So all things are allowed in that field. So these are the rules. Okay, you need to create the test scenario for these test cases for this, and this is also in sprint one. Okay, what is the error message? If you do not enter anything and you have entered something, what is the error message you will get? Just click on this. Username cannot be empty. Okay, this error message should be displayed. You can write this thing here. Error message type. Okay, you can write username cannot be empty. Fine. The error. 10 minutes. Fine. Okay. And who is the developer who develop these particular things? You can write for build status is completed or yet to deploy. Okay. So all the things will be present over here. So this is all the BH task. We are not gonna do anything. We are what we'll be doing is we'll just see the rules. Okay. The same thing I'll be just copying and pasting for others. You can just I'll be sharing this document so that you can complete all other tasks for if you have a username, password and login. Okay, and after login there are some modules present within that. For that also you need to write BRD document as well. So this is the task assignment. Okay, so you just go to this PIM or maybe lib entertainment or the dashboard. Okay, you need to write the BRD document UI specifications and associated rule for this particular thing. Okay, so that thing you will write it. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so accordingly you can change the rules. This is UFID 2 and you can write the password. This is for password. This is in login functional. Whatever things are allowed or are not allowed, you can write it. And you can see if my username is entered, admin, you can see the password cannot be empty. The same thing you need to write here. Password can't be empty, right? So error message type, like which type of error message it is? Informational message. Yeah, it's an informational message. Fine. And who is the developer? What is the build status? Developer. Developer is Harinder, no, for this. Okay. And build strategy is completed. Unit test status is 100%. Okay. Completion date is 17th/04/2018 today. And BA test status the pass. So BA also tested it and is passed. So BA first will test this particular requirement, then you will test. Right? Then associated rule is for 3, and you can say this is also 3 because for login we have that thing. Rule number 3, UFID, unique functional ID is 3. Okay, so you can see HRM UFID 003, and it's a login button. Login, and it's a functional, and the thing in rule type rules, so you can change the rule accordingly. Okay, and it's a button, right? What are the rule? You can write once we click on the login button, users shall be navigated to dashboard. Fine. So all the rules you need to write over here. There is no error message for this, or if there is any, you can write. Okay. So that's it for BRD document, UI specification. This thing is being done by a BS, okay, or technical architect, right? The QA will write some test scenarios, okay. So how to write the test scenario and all, and the test cases, okay. So these two things are more important, okay. So whatever this is, you have this particular associated rule or UI specification documents, you need to follow this document, read it thoroughly, then you will write some scenarios, okay. The scenario is the first TS means test scenario, and before that you need to write the project name, a reference document, which all the reference document you need to follow over here, like you need to write BRD associated rule. This document you need to follow, or and also you need to follow BRD UI specs. Fine, this one and this one, and then created by whom? This one, the name you can write. This is done by testers. Okay, this scenario is done by QAs. Okay, by us. You need to follow these two documents. Okay, this one and this one, and write your test scenarios. What would be the test scenarios using this particular login scenario? So how can you write? When I enter the username and password, correct username and correct password, then and click on the login button, I should be able to log in. Fine. So this thing we need to write over here. Validate if the user is able to enter the orange HRM system with a successful ESS user account. Okay. Importance. What are the importance of this? And what are the number of test cases present in this particular things? How many test cases we can write? A valid username, valid password, invalid username, invalid password, valid username, invalid password, something like that. 4 test cases we can write. Okay, one scenario. Okay, one scenario can have multiple test cases. Okay, got it? And the test cases, we follow the test scenario. Using test scenario, we'll write the test cases. Okay. So here we write the test scenario like login functionality, validate the user is able to see the personal details on logging in first time. Okay. And what is the importance of this particular thing? Is important or medium, high, low, whatever. Okay. And then coming to the test cases. Okay, we will write test cases for this particular thing, test scenario. This test scenario we have written like these all are the features that we're gonna we're gonna start. Okay, just 1 second. Fine. Okay, so in this case, once we have all the functionality written in the test scenarios, what are the test scenarios present in this particular login, like valid username, valid password, invalid username, invalid password. So accordingly, we can write our test cases. Okay, this is my test scenario ID TSMI0001, or anything you can write the test scenario ID, but it should be unique. Fine. And the test scenario description: validate if the user is able to enter the Orange HRM system with a successful ESS user account. Okay, so for that, this particular thing, we can write our test cases. Okay, let's see how we can write. TSMI001, the test scenario, and test scenario ID, the same thing. The test and scenario, whatever we have written over here, we can have the test scenario separately, or we can have in the test cases as well. In this column, I have written test scenario ID and test scenario description as well. Then the test cases. Test cases is start with the TCMI001. Okay. And what is the test case description? To verify that users are logged in successfully with a valid username and valid password. Fine. The precondition is there. What are the precondition? Browser shall be launched. Then navigate to URL. So I am on this particular URL. Then I am performing the test. Okay. What are the steps to test this particular thing? First, you are navigating to this URL. Open the browser, then navigate to this URL. Then after that, go to login page and enter below details. Enter the username and enter the password. The test data is the column where what all are the things that you are gonna enter. The username is admin and password is admin. The first set of data is admin and admin. Okay, it is being written here, admin and admin. So this is one test data, and the second test data is user and password. So you can create your account and you can enter the second set of data. Okay, this is for a valid username and valid password. So what is the expected? Expected is user should be able to log in it successfully and user should be on the dashboard. Okay, once we enter this valid username and valid password, user should be able to logged in to the particular application. Let me just show you admin, and this is also admin. Fine. And user should be able to navigate to this dashboard. If able to navigate to this particular dashboard, that means test case got passed. Okay, expected result, user should be able to logged in successfully and user should be on dashboard. And if the actual result, after clicking on that login button, if we see this particular thing, then we'll write over here whatever we have observed, we'll write over here. User is on dashboard page when clicked on the login button. So the status of this particular test case is passed. Fine. Any doubt? What is the test? Yes.